The 7 planets in our solar system orbit around the Sun. Our Sun is a yellow dwarf G2 class star, meaning that its outer temperature is around 6,000 degrees Celsius. The Sun drives the life on our planet and controls the weather that we get. It enabled life to form and thrive. Without it, even with all of our technology, we would die. For a long time, people didn't know how the Sun created its energy, or what the Sun was. Now, in the 21st century, we know better. The Sun creates its energy from the nuclear reactions in its core. For all of that energy in the core to get to the surface, it takes 1 million years. Mercury. Mercury is a dead rock orbiting the Sun. Its orbit, however, is very interesting. Because of the way it orbits, at some latitudes the Sun would rise in the sky, increase in size, then stop, reverse course and stop again before going towards the horizon and decreasing in size. Although Mercury is a dead planet, it does have frozen water inside deep craters where it is cooler. Venus, although named after the Roman goddess of love, should have been named after hell. Its clouds are made up of sulfuric acid, and these clouds are many miles thick. These clouds lead to an effect we are seeing on Earth, but more extreme. The greenhouse effects on Venus has raised the temperatures hot enough to melt lead. The pressure on the planet is equivalent of the pressure nearly half a mile under our oceans. Earth was formed by a supernova, which gave birth to our Sun. At this point in time, our Sun wasn't yet ignited. Things began rotating around our Sun: hydrogen gas and interstellar dust. Eventually, these elements cooled and formed grains, which settled into clumps, then chunks, boulders, etc. Then the Sun ignited and blew all of these elements out into space. The planetesimal that was blown away and became the 3rd planetary body to orbit was Earth.
The Cat Eye Nebula. Shells of gas being thrown off a red giant star formed the Cat Eye Nebula. This happened over 1,000 years ago, and by nebula standards it is still considered young. The main body of the Cat Eye has a density of 5,000 particles per cubed centimetre and a temperature of about 29 degrees Celsius or 84 degrees Fahrenheit. It is actually a very complex nebula, and some scientists have reason to believe that there are 2 stars inside the nebula, not just one. If there are 2 stars inside this nebula, then what we are seeing is 2 separate events that have created the Cat Eye. For now, what we do know is that the central star of the Cat Eye, or NGC 6543, is an O-type star, meaning that it is 10,000 times brighter than our Sun, but around 188 times cooler. NGC 6543 star has been losing mass in a very fast stellar wind. It loses about 20 trillion tons every second, and the velocity of the stellar wind is about 1,178 miles a second. The size of the Cat Eye Nebula is respectable, around 1 billion miles. Chances of us visiting it are slim, considering it is 3,300 light-years away from us. The Crab Nebula. The Crab Nebula is a supernova remnant, located in the constellation Taurus. In the centre of M1 NGC, or the Crab Nebula, there are 2 faint stars, one of which is a rotating neutron star, or a pulsar, responsible for the creation of the nebula. Pulsars are highly magnetized stars and give off regular doses of electromagnetic radiation. This particular pulsar emits radiation every 33 milliseconds and is about 20 miles in diameter. The nebula was first discovered when it was going supernova in 1054. Chinese and Arab scientists noticed a bright flash of light, and that was when M1 NGC was born. After its birth, it continued to expand at a rate of 816 miles every second. Currently, it is at 3.2 billion miles and still expanding. When somebody says alien, people usually think of Martians. Mars was a big topic for discussion and still is. Scientists are still disputing about whether or not we found life on Mars, or if there used to be life on Mars. Mars may house bacteria that we just haven't found yet. The Viking probes sent there in the 1970s carried out experiments to find life, and some had positive results. However, looking back on the tests carried out by these probes shows that they probably were not sophisticated enough to detect life. They might have even killed life that may have been there. But the likelihood is, life was never present on Mars. However, if we do find evidence of life, the chances are it will be tiny, dead, organic substances. Will we ever find life in our solar system or a distant galaxy? Recently, an Earth-like planet was found outside our solar system. This planet is capable of holding liquid water. We haven't found liquid water on any other planets, and water is necessary for life as we know it. On our planet, life first started in the oceans.